Hi Sagittarius, and welcome to Celtic Gaia Tarot and your 2016 Love Tarot. This is for single Sagittarians, and the question I'm asking for all you single Sagittarians is the same question I work with my private clients, which is what within me is keeping love out of my life. So if you want to know more, please stay. If you don't, then you don't have to. This doesn't make for the easiest reading, Sagittarius, but it's very enlightening. So, yes, and because this is a new channel, for all those who like, share, subscribe, etc., I'm going to pick 3 people to have a private reading with me for free by the end of September. So if you'd like for that to happen, please like, subscribe and share. And you're last, Sagittarius, and the reason why I've done you last, I realise, is I'm very close to some Sagittarians, and sometimes you don't want to know what's going on in their lives. Okay, so let's have a look at your cards, Sagittarius. You enter September with a very interesting card which represents who you are emotionally, Sagittarius, and you got your very own card, really. You've got the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is the king of the fire suit, so the fire signs, you, Leo and Aries. So as a sense of here that you're going into your relational world full of enthusiasm, inspiration, mastery over yourself, mastery over your intuition. You're dynamic, you're out there, you're living your life to the full, Sagittarius, and it's absolutely wonderful. Yeah, so it's a little bit, when I seen that card, I thought, what? You know, because he's a very magnetic king. He inspires others, he's a leader, he's got loads of followers, and people like to be around his fire because it's so warming. Sometimes it can be a little bit too enthusiastic for some people, but that's the same as everything. Too much fire burns. So, but you know, you're in a very, very good space emotionally. So what's but there's an awful lot of hidden stuff going on within you, Sagittarius, because it's the next question asks what does Sagittarius need to learn? What is the reason that they are keeping love out of their life? And you've got the Five of Cups, the Five of Ducks, gosh. So the Five of Cups, and I think this means in this card, only you truly know what this means in this card, by the way. How I'm interpreting it is there's as the grief card, and I think there's 2 meanings here. I think maybe there's losses that haven't been grieved over. Sagittarius, you could still be in a grief process, some of you. And if you've lost someone close to you, then my heart goes out, you know. Well done for reaching out. It's very hard, the grief process, when we lose people that we love. But that won't be for all Sagittarius, and for some Sagittarius there might be a sense of, you know, grieving over relationships from the past, cups that didn't work out. There's definitely unprocessed grief, Sagittarius. So either you're in the grief process because you have lost someone recently, or you're emotionally stagnated because losses of the past fully haven't been worked through, so you're still viewing the world through those losses, if you understand what I mean. And you're wearing this coat, and this coat is just keeping people away. It's sort of almost a signal saying, keep away. grieve. And some of the Sagittarians, I do know they have lost people, but it was a very 5 years ago. So I don't know. And again, for those whose grief is, if it is recent, then I'm very sorry. But it's not going to be for all. And for some, it's this losses you still haven't got over yet. And, you know, there is cups that are still standing, Sagittarius. So, you know, it depends where you are in this grief process and if it's quite new. But if it's not, maybe you have to turn around and look at what you've got. A bit of both, really, because nothing really changes until we accept it. And we have to feel it to heal it. So there is grief and loss that needs to be felt, and you're going to have to go through the process of grief really, because the actions you can take is the Death card. So again, that Death card is about letting go, and there's mixed meanings again here. So you could be letting go of the old memories of these cups that have spilled, the losses that you've gone through, or for a few of you, you're definitely going through the grief process. You can get my email in the About section. I can't offer free readings to every Sagittarius, I just can't, you know, but I'm happy to respond if you want to email me. For you that are going through this death process. And there is a lot in line of the 5 stages of grief, and maybe for some of you you're going to have to go through it. But again, for those who are not, you're going to have to go through these past losses, and you're going to have to try and move on, to let go of the imprints they've had that are still keeping you lonely, Sagittarius. I'm going to use the word lonely. And the advice card is a hermit. So the hermit either means here to go within. Only you know what these cards mean to you, Sagittarius. I don't know. I'm just looking at these cards and interpreting them how I understand them to be. So the hermit can be seeking guidance within, and it can be seeking guidance without. If there's a stuck grief process, you can get help from therapists, it's up to you. You can reach out to a reader. There's so many of them on YouTube, and some of them are so good. It's sort of just, you know, it can be a spiritual, it can be, you know, or it can just be, Sagittarius, you know what needs to be healed, basically. You're the master of intuition here. The hermit lights his own way. The hermit knows inside there's those parts that feel wounded, that feel just not right, that there's healing to do, there's moving on to do. So, not the easiest combination, Sagittarius, but the outcome is the Knight of Cups, and gender's irrelevant here. It's a sort of, the Knight comes offering a gift, and the cups are very often emotional gifts. So this could be the offer of new love. It could be for very, very many of you. Or it could you could be offering someone the gift of love. You know, it's sort of, because after this always comes new life. This is just the process of life. And then your advice card, you've got Come to the Edge, and I love this card because it reminds me of maybe an Olympic runner or a runner, and someone who's just having to push the edge of their endurance so they can go that extra mile. You know that feeling, actually you definitely know that feeling, King of Wands, of you didn't get there for no reason. You're not a page anymore, you're now the king. And you got there by overcoming, by going to your own personal edge and pushing through it. And that's what my experience is when the change happens, when the healing process happens, Sagittarius, is when we go right through there and just think, oh my gosh, for example, I feel in so much pain, I can no longer endure it. But it's right at that point where, in my experiences, we let go and something new starts to emerge, because you've got something new emerging. This is going to occurring throughout September. And I don't really know any dates. You could go through the whole process in a week, Sagittarius. I don't know. You know, I just looked at it for the month of September and asked what advice and what was blocking you. And your reading, a couple of other readings came as clear as anything. And this is one of the readings that's absolute crystal clarity about what needs to be done. And again, for you Sagittarius that are going through a relatively new grieving process, you know, my heart goes out to you, really. It's not easy. But for those who are not, and this is old hurts, it's time to take that cloak off. To allow what needs to be healed, and to move on to the opportunities that are awaiting you, Sagittarius, because they're there. It's so apparent there. And please reach out to me if you need some additional support. You know, I can maybe give 5 minutes or 10 minutes if you really feel that you've got to an edge and you need some support. Please do it. Okay. And now I understand why, because I'm very close to some Sagittarians, and it was my feeling really that they had quite a lot going on, and they weren't talking about it, funnily enough. But you know, as an intuitive and an empath, like what you are, I knew anyhow. Wish the best of luck, Sagittarius, and please reach out if you need to. I really don't mind. I can't give the world, but I can give you a little bit of my time. Okay. Bye, and please like, subscribe or share if you want to be in the chance of getting a new reading, free reading at the end of the month, Sagittarius. Much love.